In today's video, I'm going to be going through a very simple tutorial on how to make this landing page for your car sales. It could be for a car dealership, it could be for a car rental, and as you guys can see, it's made all with tabs, zero plugins and zero code. This is very simple and is fully responsive and interactive for your users to use on your website. So let's get straight into this video. So if you are interested in this theme, but you just don't have the time to make it, then what you could do is you could head over to my website and you could get this theme for $1.99 and you could download it and you have it for yourself and you can put it into your Elementor website. So before we get started in this tutorial, this is just what we're going to need. So the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need Elementor, and we don't need to get the Pro, but we do need to go over to the settings and just a few settings. So we need to go over to features, and then we need to go over here to nested elements. We need to activate that, and then we also need to go down and we need to go over to flexbox container and we need to activate that as well. So we just need to activate flexbox container and nested elements as well, and then we obviously need Elementor, and that's all we need to get started on this tutorial. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to click over here and we're going to click on flexbox, and then we're going to click on this one right over here, the very first one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click onto this section over here, which we are clicked onto it, and then we're going to go over to justify content, and we're going to go to center, and then we're going to go to align items, and we're going to go to center also. So now we're going to go to advanced, and then we're going to go down to padding, and then on the top and on the bottom we're going to give this each 100. So for the top 100, and then for the bottom 100. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to add in our text. And then we're going to add in, just going to duplicate this text, or actually no, what we'll do is duplicate that one is already edited. And then we're going to go over to tabs. Just like that. And then we're going to color this in fully black. Just like that. So now what we're going to do is first we're going to edit our text. So the first thing we're going to put over here is available vehicles for rent. So I'm just going to type up available vehicles for rent. My spelling is terrible, but you know, autocorrect will help you fix that. And then we're going to go over to the coloring. We're just going to change that to white. And then we're going to go over here and I'm just going to choose Cinzel for this font family for this tutorial that we'll be going through today. So I'm just going to go with Cinzel, and then for the size I'm going to go over to 40, 45, not 47, 40, 45. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this right here, and I'm going to name this one our rental vehicles. Now, of course, the text I'm putting has nothing to do if this tutorial is going to work or not. This just complete preference. So this is what I'm just putting for myself. So I'm going to put this and the smaller one to 20, and then I'm going to go to advanced, and I'm going to unlike this. And then for the margins, I'm going to go to top. I'm going to push this back to 15. So it looks exactly like that. And then what I'm going to do is for the bottom, or actually I'm going to go to the tabs, and then for the advanced, I'm going to go to margins. And then for top, I'm going to click this and I'm going to go down to 20. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put all the tabs to the left and put in our images, and we're going to straight into that now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to be making this tab over here. So we're just going to go, so this is what we're going to be creating right now. So first we're going to start off with the left side. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over here, and then we're going to click onto our tabs. So we're just going to go over here to tabs. So then what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to go to content, and I'm going to go over here to before. So we're going to click over to direction, and then we're going to go to before. So now that we have everything pushing to the left, we're going to go over to our first tab, and we're going to put in our first tab, which is, if I'm correct, it is Mercedes Maybach S-Class. So don't think I copied that there. Can't copy it, so I'm just going to write this in. So we're just going to write it in Mercedes Maybach. Mercedes Maybach S-Class. So we're going to put that in Mercedes Maybach S-Class, and we're going to edit this one first. So before we do that, we're going to actually change the style of these ones over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to style, we're going to go over to active, and for background color we're going to go fully transparent. And then we're going to go to border type, and then we're going to go to solid, and then we're going to go over to 2 for the width, and then we're going to go white. And then for the title, we're going to go to titles, and we're going to go to the font family, and this one we're going to go to Cinzel also. And then we're going to go over to 600, and I'm going to give this size of 19. So we're going to see how that looks. Okay. So over to 18. I see how that looks, and that looks fine. So now we're going to leave it at 18. And now what we're going to do is we're going to click onto this plus icon, and we're going to see this one that has 2. I'm going to click onto this one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click this one, this child container right over here, and then we're going to go over to where's the percentage, and we're going to click onto 68. I want this to be 68. And now what we're going to do is we're going to center align this, and I'm going to center align both of these. And then we're going to go over to the plus icon, and I'm going to go to images, and I'm going to add in our first image. So my first image is going to be the Mercedes that I have in here, which is this one right over here. So I'm going to put this Mercedes over here, and as you can see, this is working. So if we go back to tab 2, tab 3, nothing shown, and if we go back to tab 1, we see what's shown over here. So now what we're going to do is when we're over here, we're going to go over to hover, change the hover color to this gray one over here. So we're going to change that to the gray color over here. So now we have this. So now what we need to do is we need to add this bit right over here. But before we add that, we're going to add in the rest, and we're just going to add in the image for the rest, so we can just do it all at the same time. So we're going to go back to content, and I'm going to, for the second one is Audi RS8 SUV. So I'm going to put that in, Audi RS8 SUV. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go over here, click on the 2 one here, click on the child container, go over to 68, go over to center, go to the plus, add image, go over to here, and then we're going to look for the vehicle that we're using is this one over here. Click onto the vehicle, and then we're just going to do that for the exact same one for the last one. Last one is Range Rover Sports or SVR, yeah, Range Rover Sport. Range Rover Sports SVR. And then we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to add the one with the 2. We're going to go to the child container. We're going to go over to 68. We're going to go to center. We're going to go center. Then we're going to click on the plus icon right here. And then we're going to add the image of our Range Rover. So you can see here we have each of the image for our Range Rover, and they're all switching perfectly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in the little informational bar in the right side of this tab. So let's get straight into that. Okay, so what we're going to do is to add in the informational section on the right side, we're going to go over to containers, and then we're going to add in another container. So now we're going to click on the child container, and then what we're going to do is we are going to go over here to center, and I'm going to go over here to center also. And then we're going to go over here to row horizontal, or actually row vertical, sorry. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to background, and we're going to color this in white. So we're going to color in this white, and then we're going to go over here to heading. And then what I'm going to put in over here is what I have in here. So $2,000 per day. So we're going to go over here to put in the dollar sign, dollar 2,000. And then we're not going to put in the per day yet. What we're going to do is we're going to style this one first. We're going to put it to black. We're going to put it to our font Cinzel, choosing Cinzel for today. And then we're going to go to 700. And then for this font size, it's going to go 27. And then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this. We're going to duplicate this. And then this is where you're going to go back here. And then we're going to go row. That was where I was a bit confused. I didn't know if it was row or if we're going vertical, but we know now it's row. So we're going to go over to the second one, and I'm going to put on this one, and I'm going to put on per day. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change the size of this font. We're going to go a little bit smaller, and we're also going to change the opacity. I mean, not the opacity, the boldness. And then I'm going to go over to advanced, and I'm going to go over to left, and I'm just going to go minus margin. I'm going to go over down to 11. Right there. 11 like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the heading, and I'm going to go to content, and then just after the little dash and the per day, we're just going to give it one gap. We're just going to give it a gap. there just to make it look a little bit more natural. And then we almost even just go closer. We can almost even go closer just like that. So now what we're going to do is, now that we have this over here, we want to also add in this, or what I actually forgot to do, we could do as well. Sorry. What we could actually do as well is the padding. So we're going to go over to padding, and we're going to give all around size of 15. And then for the left and the right, we're going to go 10. So for the right, we're going to go 10. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in these ones over here. So what we could do that will make it a little bit more easier is we can add in another child container just under it. And then here, what we're going to do is pretty much the exact same thing. Going to go to border, going to go to solid, going to go to 2, going to go with white also, just like that. So you can see it like that. But then for the top, we're going to give it nothing. So it's going to be looking something very much like that. So now what we're going to do is like this right here. We're going to add in our text. And then we're going to write in, what does it say first? Model. So we're going to write in model, and then we're going to go over to white, and then we're going to go over here to fully white, and then we're going to go to Cinzel. And then we're going to go over here, and then we're going to make this a little bit smaller. (21). I'm going to leave it at 21. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the container, the child container that we just held the model one in. And then we're going to go over to this one, and I'm pretty sure this one is row as well. And then it's going to be center. And then it's actually, it's not going to be center. We're going to leave it as start. And now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this. So now that we have this duplicated, we are going to add in a divider. And we're going to put this here in the middle. So we're going to put the divider in the middle. Right now we can't see it, so we're just going to quickly get that to be fully white so we can see it. And then for the content, we're going to go over to width, and we're going to make this way smaller, 28, and we're going to put this in the middle. So let's see how it looks now. So as we can see, the model is still looking a bit off. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to leave that here. I'm going to go center. So we're going to go to align items, and I'm going to go center for align items to just get that looking back normal. So now what we have is we have that. So we're going to leave it as that. And then the first one is model. I'm going to go Mercedes. But before I do all that, I usually prefer to, you know, copy, duplicate it all, and then just have it all at once. So now what we're going to do is, before we do that, I'm going to go to container. I'm going to go to margins. I'm going to go to top. I'm going to go minus. I'm going to go 21. Just so we can't see that gap anymore. So now that we have that, what I'm going to do is duplicate this 4 more times. So duplicate once, duplicate again, duplicate again, and duplicate 1 more time. And now we have 5. So we have 2, 5. So now that we have 5 of these, now we're going to go over and change these ones up. So model, we're going to put in Mercedes. Again, this is not contingent. This thing working is not contingent on what car model you choose, what you write. You can put in anything. Again, this is just preference. So I'm going to put in Maybach. I'm going to put in year 2023. Year 2023. And then for the actual model, it's not supposed to be model, it's supposed to be make yet. I'm going to go to make. And then for year, it's going to be change that to transmission. Transmission. And then we're going to put petrol. And then the last one is going to be emission. And I'm going to go, not petrol, automatic. And then for emission, I'm going to put the last one to emission. And it's going to be petrol. Now, what I just realized, for me anyways, I don't think I like the font being as big, just because it's not really making the 2000 per day really stand out. So we're going to go a little bit smaller. I'm going to go 18. So to make this easier, I'm just going to copy this, and then we're just going to paste style into all of them, and then, yeah. Okay, so now that we have all of this, oh my god, Yeah, sorry. So now that we have all of this done, we have all of the transmissions, the emissions, all of that done, we're just going to put in our button, and then we're just going to do the exact same thing for all the rest. And I'm not going to make you guys go through all of it. We're just going to do the exact same thing for all the rest. So I'm just going to go over here, and I'm going to go to button. I'm just going to go underneath here, and I'm going to go here to justified, and I'm going to put on book today. Going to change the font to our lovely Cinzel. Going to go over to 600, and I'm going to go to size. Going to go with 20, and then we're going to go with background. We're going to go background with white, and then text color, we're going to go black, just like that. And then actually for me, I'm just going to go 700 just so it pops out a little bit more. And then that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to put in our button like that, and then just the radius, I don't want anything, I just want it to be 0. So I'm going to go to 0, and then that's exactly it. So now we're going to do the exact same thing for all of the other cars, the RS8 and the Range Rover Sport. I'm going to do the exact same thing we did for the Mercedes class, Mercedes S-Class. Okay, so now that we have all of these added on all of the cars, so as you see here, the prices changed. So this one's $14.50 a day, this one's $1,000 a day, and this one's $2,000 a day, and all these, all the information has changed. We want to make sure that this is responsive for tablet and mobile. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to click onto this. So we're going to see that on the tablet version, this is too close to the edge. It just looks a bit off. So what we're going to do is we're going to click over to our tab, and then we're just going to go over to like that. I'm going to leave at 200, and then we're going to go over here to our padding. That's our margins, but it doesn't really matter. Our padding, and then we're going to go over to, okay, my computer is acting weird. 1 second. So we're going to go to the left. I'm going to go left. I'm going to put the left over there, 50, and then we're going to go to the right. The right is already fine. Just going to push the right up a little bit more, and then we're going to see how it looks now. So we see here everything is going fine, and then working, and then the text is pretty much fine. The alignments in there, so everything is going through fine. And then what we could do for the tablet is just to get everything on the same line. See how it will look if we made the font smaller. No, I think we should leave it at 18 because it would just look. Yeah, so we're gonna leave the font at gonna leave the font the way it is. Yeah, gonna leave the font the way it is, and then we're going to see if everything is changing, everything's moving fine. So now we're gonna go over to our mobile devices, and then as we can see, this is going over there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here, gonna make sure this is on the center, and we're gonna lower the actual font size. And we're going to go over down to 29, and then they're going to do that for the subheading, you can say. We're going to go down. I'm going to leave that at 14, and then what we're going to see is if this is working first and foremost. So we're going to go over here. Okay, so it is working on mobile devices. So let's see how it's going. Thing like that. Okay, and that also looks perfect for our mobile devices. But one thing that does look a bit off-putting is just because this is bigger than the heading, so that just kind of looks a bit weird to me. So I don't want to reduce the size of the actual button, so I'm just going to increase the size of the heading. Put it up to 40, and then I'm just going to increase the size of the heading. And then for the subheading, we're going to put that up to 16 also. So as we can see there, that is looking perfectly fine on our mobile device also. So now we're going to check this on the web. So I'm going to click on publish. I'm going to move this one here, and I'm going to click on the eye view, and I want to see how this looks on the web. So as you guys can see, this is fully working. This is an amazing tab, super easy, and it was very easy to make as well, with absolutely zero code and zero plugins. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys are able to subscribe, like this video, and if you guys have any suggestions, make sure you guys comment, and wait till next week for a new upload. Thank you.